How is everybody doing today? It is September 3rd of 2020, and this next type I'm really excited to show you. We've kind of had a little bit of a problem getting good ones in our yard this year, and in fact the Cherokee Purple, which is our overall well-rounded favorite tomato, is kind of in a competition. But this one here is the Black Brandywine, and one of our very favorite tomatoes for a really deep flavor. We've got a couple back here that are ripe, and we'll go ahead and get those ones off. Got some more right there and right there, right here. This plant is throwing tomatoes off, and all through the plant webbing there we have more of them as well. So this used to be Angel's favorite tomato until we started growing the Cherokee Purple, and she tried that one for her first time. And now the Cherokee Purple's been her favorite, but we haven't been able to get the Cherokee Purple and this Black Brandywine in our yard at the same time. So we want to compare this one with the Cherokee Purple to see if nostalgia wins over and this flavor. So these ones are a little bit light. It has to do with light saturation. They've been crowded up in there. Getting these off will allow more to ripen. If for some reason we take these inside right now and open them up and they don't taste like we remember, or don't seem like they're the best to showcase this variety of tomato, we will go ahead and wait until some more are ripe and do them. But anything you want to say about the Black Brandywine?
Just excited to try it.
It's a really pretty darker tomato. These ones, like I was saying, are actually a lot lighter. If they get more light saturation when they're ripening, they'll get to be a more deeper chocolate purple color. A really unique flavor on these. So definitely in our top 5 for flavor on a tomato, and one we are super excited that is producing really well, and gonna give these a try. So we'll catch you guys in just a second. This is UT and Angel with the Black Brandywine tomato. Alright everybody, so let's just get right into this. This is the Black Brandywine tomato. I'm trying to hold back too much talking about it till we get this one open and see if it's like we remember, and it looks true to type, even though probably on the camera it's showing up a little bit of a lighter color, but it looks true to type to me. And when you grow in containers, you usually tend to have smaller tomatoes, peppers, things like that. It's a little bit harder to grow the larger style tomatoes for us. But out of all the large style tomatoes that we have grown this year, the Cherokee Purple, the Pineapple, the White Wonders we're trying to grow, the Amana Orange, out of all of the larger tomatoes, this one's producing as good as the medium tomatoes or any of the larger tomatoes. There's probably another 10 tomatoes, maybe 15 tomatoes out there on the plant. It is a potato leaf plant, and if I remember the unique flavor on this, the Brandywine name of it, it should legitimately taste a little bit like wine. So almost like a little bit of a wine taste mixed in with the tomato flavor, if it's a good grow for us. But I didn't want to pass up a chance. I know taking these a couple off the vine now, tomorrow there will be a couple more ripening, so we wanted to speed up the ripening since we have so many already going out there, and we're running on limited time in September as well.
So we're going to go ahead and give this.
We will be saving seeds off of these, and we will also be saving more seeds from the other ones as they ripen.
It definitely looks true to type. Might be just a little under, but it's soft, it's good enough to eat, it's ripe. But yeah, it smells yummy.
So just like a aged wine, I would say these ones are a little bit better to get ripe as well.
Yeah.
And this one has a little bit less meat than I remember our last grow of it being.
Yeah. Alright. Very good. Very flavorful.
Is it what you remember?
I think so.
This one does have a little green in it, so it might be a little underdone. This one had a little bit of splitting, so it might have caused the ripening to get a little bit further along as well. Yeah, it's a little bit under still in this one, huh?
It's a very good tomato, and I like it. I would like to have a slice of it on a hamburger or even a sandwich, tomato sandwich, BLTs. It's just a very good tomato.
I can taste it. It's the black Brandywine I remember, but I would say being a little bit underdone, it doesn't quite have the strong wine, black Brandywine flavor that I remember, because it's a little bit under, so I don't want to judge it, you know what I mean, as this one is being the flavor that we remember. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I would suggest if you grow the black Brandywine, let it over ripen a little bit. It seems to really have a deep, rich flavor to it.
Yeah.
And so using it in sauces and stuff like that, and the meat, this is how I remember it being a little bit more.
It makes a good slicing tomato
Yeah, this
for
elongated
sandwiches
one
and hamburgers.
has less than I would say normally the meat would be in a black Brandywine. But this is an excellent, excellent tomato. These ones, every time we've seen them grown or grown them ourselves, they've been pretty strong. Some people in some zones seem to have issues with them growing. They don't produce as well. And these came from our seeds from last year. So we didn't get any that were ripe and that we could try, but we pulled some off the vine and ripened them in a closet in a box, and then we saved those seeds, and those seeds were viable, and we're growing for those ones again. So we follow a lot along the lines of evolutionary growing. So we grow the same plant in our yard or in our zone or in our community repeatedly, and then the plant, say it's a cold weather plant, and it'll slowly start to learn to take on our hot summers, so that over several years of using the same seeds in the same plant, it'll evolve to be stronger. So any of the seeds that we have saved personally and then regrown a year or two, those are the ones that are turning out like blockbusters for us in our yard, usually producing tons and tons. And being that this is probably technically, I think, been grown 3 years in our yard. 2? Yeah, so this one was grown last year, and this year's all. Last year we had a problem getting it pushing out and producing. This year it's one of our strongest tomato plants. So I would say, you know, you may have issues or you may not, depending on personal experience and microenvironment. But as far as this tomato goes, it's really got like a deep, rich wine flavor to it. It would be decent, mediocre for saucing and mediocre for slicing. Not really a champion in either category, but pretty well-rounded tomato.
I like it. It's really good, and I do recommend growing it and giving it a try for yourself.
Yeah, like if you haven't ever tasted a Brandywine tomato, especially the black Brandywine, then you should give it a try. It legitimately has almost like a wine taste with the tomato taste, especially when they're severely ripe. And you may have issues growing the plants. I've noticed some people do. We haven't, but we've noticed others had. And so I'm thinking, I don't want to give advice and sit there and say it's a strong contender in all situations and stuff. We're not professionals. We like sitting down with you guys and eating these and stuff like that. I would suggest getting them ripe. We probably will have some comparison videos between a couple versus videos between two different types of tomatoes, as we've gotten some of these other unique ones out, and peppers as well. But the black Brandywine, I would suggest everybody give it a chance and grow it once. And if it doesn't grow well for you, at least you get to try, hopefully, at least one of this super unique flavor of it.
Definitely. We're having way too much fun over here, and we love you guys and hope you have a wonderful Labor Day weekend. And we'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.
Too. So September 3rd, and that was the black Brandywine. That is an excellent, excellent flavored tomato. I would put it probably in my top 3 personally, and I believe Angel probably would too. The Cherokee Purple is in the top 3 as well. When it comes to flavor, the Cherokee Purple might not be the 100% king, but it overwhelms in other categories as well. where it might be just a tad behind. Like this one right here, that's a Black Beauty, and I believe it might have a better flavor than the Cherokee Purple, but it doesn't keep on the counter very long. It's not necessarily a slicer as much. There's lots of different things that the Cherokee Purple just destroys it in. And if it does beat the Cherokee Purple in flavor, it's barely. But our plants got super crowded and haven't been producing any tomatoes. We've been trying to trim them. They've been treated like all the others, and the Cherokee Purple is just not showing up this year. So the fact that the Brandywine did might be it trying to edge out the Cherokee Purple as Angel's favorite, because I know she has a lot of nostalgia. She hadn't tried a lot of different unique varieties before we had met, and when we had met, our roommate had grown a garden in the backyard that we also participated in and helped out with, and they had grown the black Brandywine, and it was her very first chance to give it a try. And so if you're growing these, they can be a strong plant. I don't know if that's the same for everybody or if it has to do with our evolution growing. Here in this spot, it did get a decent spot in the yard. It has been a little bit harder to manage than we would like, but this one's producing so many tomatoes, and I would suggest you let them ripen really ripe. Try not to get them when they're too light or too under, because we could taste the unique wine flavor in that tomato, just not as well. So if you're looking for a really rich flavored saucing tomato, the Brandywine would work really, really well. This is UT and Angel. I don't want to babble on too long. 20-minute videos. I love you guys. I hope you're having fun. We're having fun over here, and it is another great day. So any day that you get to eat tomatoes out of the yard is a great day, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching. Love you.